Everybody look like they getting pressed down, shaken together, and running over. But God says, don't envy.
That's right.
The evildoers are those who do wrong. Why? Because the man of God told the woman, he said, listen, there's something in your house that will bless you. He says to the woman, he said, listen, this is what I need you to do. No, you don't have a lot. I got a little bit of oil. This is what I need you to do. He says, go to all your neighbors and ask them for jars. Get as many as you can and bring them back. So everybody went out to grab jars, brought them back to her house. Says, now listen, begin to pour. That's what she did. She began to pour the oil. The little bit amount that she had left. And she kept on pouring. Pouring and pouring. And pouring and pouring. She went, oh gosh, someone get me another jar. Get me another jar. Get me another jar. Get me another jar. What she had was a little bit, but she started pouring it. She ran out of jars. And then when she ran out of jars, was then when the oil stopped. God says, don't be envious of anybody else. Don't worry about how you're going to pay your bills and how you're going to make things happen. I know you have your dreams. I know you have your visions and your goals. But because I'm trying to show you, son, I'm trying to show you, daughter, that your blessing, that your next level, that your financial shift is already in your house. Amen. You've already got it. Check this. If the woman hadn't first been obedient, if she had of kept sitting on that little bit amount of oil, it still would have remained a little bit amount of oil. But it was when she began to pour. It was when she began to do something with it. It was when she began to give it out, to pour it out. Was when the blessing was manifested. And then he says, now take the oil, go out to the town folk. And now everything that you need to provide for you is in your house. Ladies and gentlemen, God's got a blessing for you. It's already in your house. But if you just begin to pour, then if I was going to sit on the little bit amount that's in all my little bank accounts and be comfortable with it, that's all I'm going to end up with. But when I begin to give and I begin to pour it out, that's when God says, now let me give you more. Why? He says, my name is jealous. I'm not going to let you outgive me. God says, wait a minute, I am Jehovah Jireh, your provider. So when you get out here and you start pouring out the little bit that you have, I have no choice but to turn around and give it back to you. A good measure, pressed down, shake it together, and run it over. Woo! If you are going to be shifted in your life, and now shift from carnal living to supernatural blessings, understand this, it's not going to make sense.
Go ahead.
I done wrote it down on paper. So this next month, I transfer this here. I pay this one later. Transfer this money right here to pay this one when it makes sense. The woman had a little bit. She only had a little bit. God says, listen, if you just trust me and be faithful and be obedient, when you begin to pour it out, watch what I'll do. God says, with this shift, can I get churchy real quick? It says, with this shift, I'm going to put a super to your natural. My super to your natural. We used to sing in the old Baptist church, super, 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 supernatural power. Come on, super, 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 supernatural power. Wait till I go to TD Bank today. Is that good? Super, 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 super. God says, begin to pour out and watch the oil multiply back and forth. And she said, she put the dollar in, then she take the dollar out, the envelope. Put the dollar back in the envelope, put the 20 in the envelope, take it back out. And she said she did it about 10 times. And she was praying that nobody was going to see her. She was sitting on the far back. She said, I want to provide this church. She said, because my daughter goes here and feed her and everything like that. But she said, so finally, she put the $20 bill in there. And she was at peace with it. She felt good. Because don't be giving with an attitude. You give no attitude. Keep your little money. God wants you to give with a cheerful heart. And she said, so she put the 20 in, and she said she got home and she started to wash some clothes. And she found $60 in some pocket. That's what God will do. When you give the thing that you think you need, watch God